Good morning, YouTube. All right. I am getting ready to leave the library just now. It is morning and getting ready to run my errands. There's a bathroom over here right around that white thing. So some of you are wondering what I do in the morning, my routines. So today I'm going to kind of cover some of the routines. Some of you are asking, like, what kind of stuff I do in the morning and before bed and things like that, routines, because you haven't done van dwelling yet and you're wondering, what it's going to be like. Well, it's going to vary for each person because it just depends on what you normally do. But for me, first thing I usually do in the morning is I get up and I go to the restroom, clean myself, brush my hair, brush my teeth, get myself ready for the day, which means either a visit to a bathroom somewhere or maybe even Planet Fitness. It depends on my schedule and my time and how close I am to a specific resource. In this case today, it's kind of early in the morning. It is right now 7:42 a.m. I got up at about 7:30. Yeah, we got up about 7 and it took me about 30 minutes to get up. Because I have an appointment with Express Tech Auto. They're going to try to look at a little Bluetooth air conditioning system. And for those of you who are kind of freaking out, they told me they're going to try to do it for free. So that was a very kind thing for them to do at Express Tech Auto. So we're going to go see if we can't get little Blue to cool down this year. This will be the first time she's ever had working air conditioning since I've had her, if they can manage to get it working. So that is my big thing for today, is to deal with the air conditioning. And then after that, I'm free, which means probably going to be more job searching, or taking my class, the online class that I'm taking for learning C#. So that's basically what I'm doing when I'm not working now, because this week I'm not scheduled for any temp work. I am keeping my eyes out for any temp jobs that may come up from Craigslist and other sources, as well as permanent positions that I've applied for. So that's what I spend the majority of my time doing. Now, if you're not looking for work and you're a van dweller, your routines are going to be a bit different, other than maybe, taking a shower or cleaning yourself. And you can do that at Planet Fitness or another gym, or fitness facility. If you happen to be in Florida, like on a day like today where it's not too hot, it's actually kind of warm, you could probably take a free shower on the beach. Yeah. A lot of the beaches here, at least the major ones that have a pull-up access, in Florida, at least in northern or central Florida here, you can access completely for free. They don't charge you to park, and they have bathrooms and showers that you can use. But you don't try to stay there overnight. The cops will definitely come and give you a hard time. There's no overnight loitering or parking there. Otherwise everyone would be doing it. But you can use it in the morning, when you're there, wake up and the sun is up, you can go there. Usually they lock the bathrooms up. I think it's to prevent people from staying there overnight. They'll lock up the bathrooms overnight and open it up at sunrise. Usually about 7 or 8 a.m. they'll have it open. So you can stop by there, use the bathroom, take a shower, and hang out there, which is what I used to do when I had no money. And had to kind of stay in a limited place because I didn't have enough even for gasoline. I had like $3 to my pocket when I first started. Those of you who watched me at the beginning, you know what it was like. I basically camped out nearby at a Walmart parking lot to the beach, and I accessed the beach to take a shower and stuff, and I cooked in my vehicle using the inverter cooking system, as well as free electricity from the park whenever possible. So I kept myself, from spending too much money by having access to food source nearby and free electricity to use, as well as free showers and a bathroom. And I had a small little clothes washer that I made out of that jar, which I still have. Maybe I'll show that again. And I would wash my clothes every single day. So, you know, I'd wear like one pant, one shirt, and one pair of pants, one shirt over and over and over, and hand wash them in my homemade clothes washer, you know, out of that jar, which I'll show you, I guess, later. But that's how I kept myself clean, you know, and kept my clothes clean. And I did that for, what was it, 3 to 6 months before I found work again and was able to get myself out. I also built, and this is something I do recommend if you're like me in a situation where you're kind of stuck, you know, you're not choosing van dwelling by, you know, as an escape. You're choosing van dwelling because the alternative is to be homeless on the street. So, you know, that determines a lot with your routine. I guess I'll deal mostly with people in my situation, which is people who are broke, don't have enough money to get rent, you know, can't afford basically to live in a sticks and bricks, and have been forced into van dwelling. Now, I guess this group I would consider more towards homeless than you know, adventurous, because if it wasn't for the van, you would be homeless. And so van dwelling for you, as it is for me, not a goal or a bucket list item, but a survival means, because you can't afford rent or a house or whatever. So your routines may be more similar to mine in that you're not really in it for traveling, although you could travel if you had the money. See, for me, if I was retired or had disability and stuff and had money coming in on a regular basis that I could count on, and it, you know, covered my child support and everything else, and I had leftover money, I would not be staying in one town like this. I would actually be traveling across the United States or whatever country I'm in, because that is the power of van dwelling. You know, you're in a vehicle, you can travel, and you take your house with you. That's like the ultimate travel experience, because you can go anywhere and have everything you need with you. Now, if you're like me in a survival mode, your goal the whole time is to stay alive and control your spending, keep it to very minimal. Like today, I'm spending money traveling. I'm spending it in gas in town. So this is a couple dollars in gas to travel from my location, which I chose because, you know, the cops know I'm there, and, you know, they told me it was okay because I don't really do anything bad or anything. You know, I don't make a mess. I don't do anything bad. I mean, I'm just there to sleep. And you know, that location has internet access, so I can upload my videos. It's not the best internet, but it's pretty decent internet. I can upload videos, I can stream YouTube, keep myself somewhat entertained. I can do my online courses, you know. I can access my time card for Spherian. So I tend to hang out around areas like that give me access, although I don't always stay in the same spot. It just depends on where I am and what I feel like doing the next day. That helps me to set up where I need to go. In this case today, I'm driving kind of a long ways because we're leaving from Melbourne, heading almost all the way to Palm Bay to go see the mechanics. And so that's my morning routine. You know, it's determined what I do during the day, but typically I get up, go to the bathroom, shower if I have time. In today's case, I did not shower this morning. I will probably shower later today, tonight, before I go to bed. I try to shower at least once a day or once every other day, even when I'm not working. If I'm totally off-grid in the van by myself with no money, no income, I would shower probably once a day at the beach because it's free. And I would live nearby that location. But I would not stay at that one park all the time, because the police would start to say, you know, you can't stay there. They won't really do anything to you during the daytime, because, you know, if you're there like the other visitors, you can blend in. But if you're there every single day and they can tell you're kind of camping there, they may give you a hard time. Me personally, I've never had any bad experiences with the cops. As far as, you know, actually any bad interactions with the cops for pulling me over, or, you know, or coming up to me while I'm living in the van, because they can see I'm not, you know, a vagrant or anything. I'm just basically a homeless vet. I'd be on the street if not for that. Matter of fact, most of them have been very helpful. The cops, they will try to steer you towards resources that may be of assistance to you. They can even point out places where you can park safely for the night. And sometimes, you know, when they know your situation and kind of know you, they kind of look the other way, you know, when you park somewhere where you're not supposed to. Most of the time, they're only there because somebody complained. Somebody called the cops, and they're just out there doing their job. So if you're not doing anything illegal and, you know, a cop comes over and knocks on your window or door or whatever, don't freak out. Just explain to them your situation, you know, show them your driver's license, insurance, whatever they ask for, and basically don't start up something, because you'll be booted out of town. They could end up impounding your vehicle. They could do all sorts of stuff to you. And most of the time, those cops, unless they're a brand new cop who might be on an ego trip or something, most of the time those cops are actually there to make sure that, you know, the citizens, the people, the residents of that town that you're in are safe and you stand out. Now, some of them, you know, the more experienced and older cops may know that you may have used to be one of the residents. Like in my case, I used to be a resident of this area. I still am officially a resident, but I used to have, you know, an apartment around here and worked around here. I used to have a house around here and lived and worked around here. So, you know, and I'm staying here sort of by choice, sort of not by choice. Part of the reason for staying here all this time, you see me in Brevard County so much, is the children. I want to be close to my kids. I did not want to leave them. Now they're a little bit older, you know, that need to stay nearby and protect them isn't as strong as it was when my divorce and everything else first happened and everything went down the way it did. You know, I can see now my children are safe. Their mother's not doing anything weird. You know, the new husband is not doing anything weird. You know, so the urgency to stay in this area is not as strong as it used to be when the children were younger. And the children are old enough now that they can protect themselves to an extent. And, you know, they've kind of built up a network that is kind of keeping an eye on them in addition to myself. But I'm still staying for visitation, and also because I ended up getting married to a woman in this area, and that's a whole nother complicated issue. But basically, I'm pseudo stuck. Although at this point right now in my life, I'm contemplating moving if I can get a good job, you know, a real job, you know, one that can pay for living expenses and my debt, which is mostly child support. Student loan will never be repaid. They've taken like more than 10 times the amount. They've taken about 10 times the amount that was owed, and they still have it increasing every day. So, you know, that's a whole nother. Those of you who have been caught in student loans issues, you all know what I'm talking about. Those of you who don't, please stop talking about how, you know, people don't pay their student loans and blah, 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 blah. You're lucky if you're able to make the payments, because your situation just turned out better than those who fell behind and went into arrears or whatever, like I did with child support. You know, even now, the majority of my money is going to child support, not to me. So that's why you see me living in a van and eating 15-cent meals, you know, for days at a time. Sometimes you see me splurge a little bit, but most of the time I'm just trying to live off $1 or less a meal. And that has to do with moving the money towards child support, paying the child support even before getting a house for myself, because, well, with what I was paying for child support, I could have gotten a room, okay, so I could be in an apartment or something, but then I wouldn't have any money for child support payments. So that's kind of how the system works. I know some of you who are in other countries may not understand, but it basically, somebody was commenting about they couldn't believe how many homeless there are in America. And then the people who aren't homeless, you'll see some of their comments. It's really cold-hearted in that they think that the people who are homeless are lazy bums, don't want to work or whatever. Those people who make those comments just have no clue. They forget or don't realize that a lot of the people who are homeless are not there by choice. It's through circumstances, life circumstances, and you never really know what's going to happen. I mean, some of the people who helped me in the past, they told me they helped me because they know what it's like to be homeless, because they were once homeless. And you can get homeless simply just by losing your job. You get homeless by getting in an accident, and you say, well, the insurance would cover it. If you don't have adequate insurance because you didn't have a decent job and couldn't pay the full premium, and the person who hit you didn't have insurance or have adequate coverage, you could be homeless. Anything can happen. Nasty divorce, like mine, they could take everything, your house, your career. And in my case, they took everything all at once. They destroyed my reputation, my career, and it's like a permanent damage that occurred from my really bad divorce. Even though, honestly, for most other people, that divorce shouldn't have been more than, they divorced, they got the husband kept working and everything else, but I won't get into that. I got into it in the past, but I'm moving on. So that's where I am, and that's why I'm in this situation. I don't really blame, some people think that I blame the government and I blame all these other people. I don't really blame anyone for anything. Not even myself, even though I am the one responsible, because this is my life. The things that happened to me in this case were my choices. I chose to marry that woman. I knew there were issues, and I chose to stay with her, even despite all the red flags and all the things that happened prior to that night. The really bad case with the police and everything else getting involved, and me basically destroying my life. But you cannot make a blanket statement looking at people, or you shouldn't, rather, make a blanket statement looking at people and saying that, they just do this or do that, when you really aren't in their shoes. You have no clue. Maybe you've been homeless before, but still your situation was unique to you. Maybe you were homeless, but you had a support network. You had a family, whatever, that would help you. So that all helps, that all configures into what your routine is. Like if you had access to a house with a shower, laundry, you could do laundry once a week. That affects your routine. And the reason I point all this out is people want a general rule or general guidance. And unfortunately, it varies depending on you, your situation, your vehicle. If the only one I can show you is my situation, which is not that much support as far as family and friends. I have some family and friends, but I've already seen and know what it's like. I do have some friends and new friends that I've made since then who have shown a lot of support, like unbelievable support. Some had taken me into their house to live with them for a while when this first went down. When they first met me, they didn't even know me. I was a stranger, and they tried to help me. Other people who loaned me money, and other people who have outright given me money. A lot of them from YouTube, people I never met personally, but who feel, they want to help. So some of you wonder how I stay positive. That is it right there. Knowing that despite all the badness and all the evil that I experienced, all the cruelty, I guess you could say, it hasn't been all dark. There have been spots of light, people who took it upon themselves to help. They didn't judge. They just saw another fellow human in need, and they actually helped. Or tried to. Look at Walter. He let me stay at his place. That should have been enough for me to get a reset, but due to the situation, the way it worked out with Hessler Knives, you know, I wasn't able to retain that job. I ended up leaving because they didn't want to pay me. So, you know, I wasn't able to reset, but I'm always forever grateful for Walter and thankful for what he did. You know, he tried. So, and even now, there were others who, they haven't been mentioned and stuff, but people have offered me jobs. They're just remote locations far away. Although I'm contemplating taking some of those jobs potentially if I can't find something locally, you know. But I've got to try to make sure I get a job that is going to cover all the bills, all the expenses. Right now, my best job, believe it or not, is YouTube. It's not paying even enough for minimum wage, but it is paying enough to cover child support. And if I continue to build it, I can potentially get more, you know, enough of it to live off. So, you were wondering what I do. Well, this is my morning routine for today. It is bringing the van in to Express Tech Auto, which is right here, to get it serviced. I think it's over here. I keep getting myself confused here. These two workplaces look similar. This is Express Tech Auto right here. And I will bring it in, park it, and let them know I am here. Tony Marcella. So, anyhow, I'm going to sign out. I will let you guys know my afternoon routine. Mostly today I will probably be waiting here until they let me know what's going on with the vehicle. But we'll talk about routines all today. But waking up is just a matter of showering, cleaning yourself, figuring out what you're going to do for today. And for today, we're going to try to get little Blue 2 to get her air conditioning system fixed. Thank you to Express Tech Auto and the staff here. If you are in the Melbourne Palm Bay area, I highly recommend this auto repair shop. They are honest, they keep prices to a minimum, and they do fantastic work. Until next time, everyone, take care. God bless you all. Please stay safe. Bye-bye now.